temptation. And that's why he was praying, not to fall into the temptation of handling it his way. And if Jesus had to pray, what about the rest of us? And so we're thankful here that Jesus was able to handle it. He said, Peter, put away that sword. If you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. Put it away. Uh, well, we're going to handle it my Father's way. That's what prayer is about. Prayer is about not telling God what you're fixing to do. It's about asking him, what should you do? Amen. That's what it's about. And then following the instructions that he gives us. That was quite a battle at Gethsemane. How do we know it was a real battle? Jesus was sweating and agonizing, sweating drops of blood. Uh, it was sweat like drops of blood, says. But to mention blood tells us something, that normally when we are fearful like that, we get ulcerated stomachs, and we find ourselves sweating, bleeding internally. But for us, he was sweating externally, bleeding externally, to the point that he was bleeding for us long before they started whipping him Thursday night. There he was bleeding for us. That he would be able to redeem us from what we deserved. Amen. And so if we say that was a battle there, he won it. Amen. He won it. But then we come secondly to the battle of Golgotha. From Gethsemane to Golgotha was a tremendous journey. Um, it is called the place of pain and passion. And I wanted to add patience in there, of a place of pain and passion and patience, of pain. It started when they started whipping him Thursday night. And they beat him all night long, and didn't let him sleep. And then, of course, on the Via Dolorosa, which is about a half-mile long, turning cobble road, where stumbling and falling, 14 stations where Jesus fell from the weight of the cross that he had to carry. They were so merciless until they made him carry his own cross that was extremely heavy, representing. And so there is the pain. There is the pain of this battle of Golgotha, where he's headed. But not only the pain, but there's the passion. You look at passion in a couple of ways. You look at it both positively and negatively. It's both affliction, and it's also affection. When you look at the affection, Jesus was so passionate. You heard his cries from the cross. You heard him saying, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." You heard him look out for his mother while she was standing around. Passion, compassion. There he was looking out for others and not so much for himself. We see the great passion of Jesus. And then, of course, it seemed like in this verse that we're reading here in verse 21, Mark Mark 15 and 21, where it tells us is that they compelled Simon out of the country, the father of Alexander and Rufus, to bear his cross. Uh, it, it, it just seems like more than was necessary was placed in this verse, unless it was absolutely necessary. And I believe it was. Yeah, I believe it was necessary. I mentioned it earlier, we are experiencing some things right now. First of all, Simon was a black man out of Africa. Um, and if all of this hadn't been said in this verse, we may not have known this. He was the father of Alexander and Luke and Rufus.